What's good, BookTube? Thanks for hanging out with me today. My name is Theo, Rekindled Reader. This is my BookTube channel where I talk about book and book adjacent stuff. So if you're into that kind of content, maybe do me a favor, click subscribe and the bell notification so you can get notified when I post new videos. Maybe leave a like and a comment if you like the video, but this is just an update. I do this every week or 2 weeks or whatever, a little bit random. I usually start the video with some personal updates if I have any. I go into my reading, my book updates, all that kind of stuff, a little bit of channel stuff, any collabs on the horizon, any other content that is on the go or content that I recently put out, anything else that I feel like talking about. And that's it. As usual, I will try my best to put the timestamps down below so you can go ahead and I don't know why I just did it. Skip forward to whatever most interests you. Honestly, not a whole lot to talk about on the personal side. Things are good. Everything is, for the most part, okay. A little bit of a rough start to 2025. Things are going quite well right now. I am dressed up because I just came home from work and I thought I should record this video immediately because I will run out of time if I don't. And, I wanted to update you guys. Let's go ahead and talk about the books because I have a bunch to go through. In my last update video, I was reading Golden Sun, book 2 of the Red Rising trilogy, the first trilogy by Pierce Brown. I finished it and it was an absolute banger. It was a 5-star book for me. The ending is one of the craziest endings I've ever read. And it was, in a weird way, satisfying, but it was mind-blowing. I won't say anything more than that to not spoil anything, but it was one of the best endings I've ever read. And in this book, I decided that this very well could be some of my favorite sci-fi that I've ever read. I'm not a huge sci-fi reader. The Sun Eater series is really the main sci-fi series that I was invested in. This is different in its writing, in its pacing, in its action, in its relationships. It does things differently. There's a place in sci-fi for both. And I think this is on the way to overtaking Sun Eater as like my favorite sci-fi series. It more aligns with my typical reading taste because I like fast-paced, action, plot-heavy fantasy for the most part. And this just scratched a lot of the itch that I had being a fantasy first fan. Because then I finished Morningstar. I picked it up immediately. This is one of the rare instances where I read a trilogy back to back. I read Red Rising. It was amazing. I gave it, I think, 3.5. There were some faults with it, but I had a really good time. And I was invested enough by the end of it to immediately want to pick up Golden Sun. Everyone who told me Golden Sun is like one of the best in the series, as promised, it delivered. And so immediately I jumped to Morningstar. Don't finish Golden Sun if you don't have Morningstar right by your bedside to read because you're going to want to jump into it immediately. And that's what I did with this one. It wraps up the trilogy beautifully. It throws you for a bit of a loop. There are some moments in here where you're wondering what the hell is going to happen. There's some twists and turns, which Pierce Brown is very, very good at. High energy, high octane, fast paced, lightning fast paced. I mean, it's chapter after chapter, things are happening. Very good dialogue in this one. The dialogue has improved. The writing has improved. I've seen him level up through the trilogy, which is weird because there's a noticeable difference between the back end of this book and like the beginning of Red Rising. Different book, different story. It's evolving, but I could tell a better quality and more alignment with my personal taste as the trilogy went on. So take that for what it's worth. I'm not going to tell you what I rated this one because I'm going to wait to do maybe a trilogy review. I haven't actually rated this one on Goodreads or Fable or whatever I'm using at the time, which we'll talk about more later on in this video. But man, if you have not read the Red Rising trilogy, I am kicking myself for not reading this one sooner. Everyone told me, do yourself a favor, pick up Red Rising. You're going to love it. I'm going to tell you guys the same thing. Red Rising kept me interested. I wanted to read right through. And like I said, this is a rare instance where I read a trilogy back to back without really bouncing to anything in between. I was super impressed with this one. And I have the other 3 that are out right now up until Lightbringer. Red God is supposed to come out either, I don't know, this year, next year. I'm not exactly sure. I think I'm going to put a pin in the trilogy at this point. It's nice and wrapped up. It's a cohesive story. And then I'll probably pick up the next book, maybe in a few months, because I probably won't be able to last that long. I really want to know how this story evolves and continues. So yeah, for now, I'm going to keep the trilogy tight. I'm going to do a bit of a review on just that trilogy, and then I will jump back into the Red Rising world maybe in a few months. After finishing Morningstar, I ended up starting and making a dent in Darkblade Assassin, the first book in the Darkblade series by Andy Peliquin. He's written a bunch of books, a couple different series. This one was sold to me. It has Joe Abercrombie mixed with Assassin's Creed. If that doesn't sell you, I don't know what will. I am very much in the mood for this one. I made a little bit of a dent. I don't want to talk too much about it yet because I'm just rolling through. I'm reading it alongside some friends of mine. So far, so good. Again, not much to say yet, but my next update, you'll either hear me talk about this one as complete or ongoing and let you know more about what I think about this book. But Super nice guy. Engage with him on social media. Very prolific author. He's written, like I said, quite a few books at this point. And I just found out that he's moved a couple weeks ago local to me. So he's right nearby. So if I love this one, maybe he'll become a new favorite author and I'll read more of his books and I can go take him out for a beer or a coffee and get him to sign more books. So I'm excited about that. Andy, thanks for this one. I cannot wait. Luckily, this is precisely what I'm in the mood for right now. I was going to start book 2, A Fool's Hope, in the Last War trilogy by Mike Shackle. This is really fun grimdark. The first one, We Are the Dead, I had a blast with. I ended up doing a dedicated review. I cannot wait to continue with this one, but I decided to prioritize Andy Peliquin's book because I'm reading it, like I said, kind of alongside some friends. I'm a little bit behind them, but I think I might be able to catch up. After that, I think I'm going to want to continue with Fool's Hope. My goal this year in 2025 is to wrap up some series. I definitely have a couple trilogies on the go. So the trilogies are easy, low-hanging fruit. So that's where this one will come in. I will pick this one up after I'm done that book. Not sure, I won't be able to squeeze it in February, but you'll probably see it on my March TBR video. Alongside all of that stuff, I am still reading. I'm sorry for all the bouncing around, but you know, I only have so much space over here. So Words of Radiance, book 2 in the Stormlight Archive. Not going to lie, I lost a little bit of momentum with this one. This one caught me near the end of last year, about a couple months ago now at this point. I was in a bit of a reading slump. I was busy, had a rough start to the new year, and it wasn't what I was feeling at the time. I just lost a bit of steam. I was a little bit daunted with the rest of this. Is not where I am, by the way. I'm reading this on audio as well, so I'm way beyond this at this point. I think I have maybe a third, maybe a quarter left. I'm not sure, but yeah, I just lost a bit of momentum, and then I started seeing a bunch of reviews come out for Wind and Truth, and not gonna lie, they did not make me even more excited to finish this. I mean, this is peak Stormlight. This is an absolute banger of a book from everyone that I know who's read it. But knowing what I know about Wind and Truth and even Rhythm of War and how, you know, people start to get less excited about the series as they moved along, I was already in a slump, already lost some steam, already busy with life, and I just couldn't bring myself to read the other, 500, 600 pages of this book. So for now, I had put it down, but I'm going to continue with this one. So this one, you're going to probably see me read alongside with everything else over the next probably month or two, probably 2 months, because I like to finish some shorter books. I built up a little bit of momentum. I'm feeling different stories right now. I like to jump around a little bit in my reading, and I'm trying to complete series and pick off some of the shorter ones. And so this one, there's no rush, there's no fire. I'm just going to read this one alongside some of that stuff. So it might take me another 2 months or so, but I will be in the background chipping away at this book as well. I'm not really going to talk too much more about what I plan to read next month, because this will roll me into next month, but I definitely have a couple other books that are on my radar that I'm probably going to fit in next month as well. So keep an eye out for my TBR video that I'm going to put out sooner or later. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We just rolled through 3,000 subscribers, which is crazy. I think we're at 3,050 or something at this point, which is crazy to me. I'm still shocked that people care to listen to my opinion and follow along with my reading journey as I diarize what I read and give my opinions and stuff, more for me to reflect and look back on than for me to think my opinion is worthwhile putting out onto the internet. This is really a diary and a log for me to look back at one day. So, and of course, an opportunity to build community and engage with you guys, because that is really the purpose of this. But, the fact that people care about what I think about books is crazy. So I appreciate it. Some of you may have come from some recent videos that I did talking about Amazon and Kindle. I had a problem with my Kobo, and I did a video on my complicated Kobo situation and how I'm kind of stuck with Kindle still for a bit, but though I still really like my Kindle and I'm going to use it probably until it dies at this point. So if you're here because of that, I appreciate it. And I will be doing more e-reader stuff, more tips and tricks, more how-to videos on different e-reader types, because I have some experience with a couple different kinds at this point. I'm going to do some reviews as well when I do buy a new one. I might be lucky enough to get my hands on some different models and stuff to test and compare for you guys. And I'll probably take you through my shopping and research experience as I look for a new e-reader for myself at some point. So if you're here for e-reader content, I'll probably be doing a little bit more of that over the next little while. One thing you guys might also be interested in is the fact that, like some of you, I've slowly moved away from using exclusively Goodreads, which is also owned by Amazon and has not been improved at all for years and is clunky and has limited functionality and is just a really poor app and program, website, whatever you want to call it, for this day and age. It's not good, but it's where a lot of us look for reviews, look for books, and that's where a lot of our catalog and our library is kept. I've shifted away to start using more and more this app called Fable. It's amazing. It's slick. It can track the streak that you have, how many days you're reading, what books you're reading on what day, your goals. It gives you pie charts. It breaks down, the genre you're reading and all that stuff. And Goodreads does some of that, but this does it in a way that looks quite slick, and the user interface is much preferred by me. So I really, really like it. It's an app that I find myself wanting to open more and more often above Goodreads. So I'm slowly starting to migrate my entire library over there. It's very, very simple, by the way, to just port all of your Goodreads shelves, your library, your want to read pile, your currently reading books. It, at the click of a button, just uploads that into Fable using your profile, and it's seamless. I mean, it's amazing. So I've been using Fable exclusively. I sometimes go back into Goodreads to look for another review or an old review or something, or to update Goodreads at the same time, because I have a lot of friends and stuff. By the way, if you want to add me, I'll try and put my link to Fable and Goodreads and stuff down below. I'll try and remember to put my Fable one there. Otherwise, I'm sure you can probably find me on there. But yeah, because I have a lot of friends on Goodreads and we stay on top of what we are all reading together. I tend to go back into Goodreads every once in a while just to update that site too. So for now, if you haven't heard of Fable, I would download it, give it a try. It is slick. I guarantee you're going to really appreciate how this thing is laid out, how efficient and how beautiful, and how much more motivating it feels to read. I mean, it really curates everything in a really nice package. So I really like Fable. This is not sponsored. They're not paying me. I didn't really know about Fable up until a while back. I just thought, it's something that I didn't think I'd like so much more than Goodreads, that I've started using it almost exclusively. And I just want to let you guys know about it. I don't really have any upcoming things to talk about yet that are imminent, any upcoming collabs or content or anything. I've kind of touched on what I want to talk about. So that is it for today. I just want to thank you for being here with me. Again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would really appreciate it. It helps it grow, and it makes making this content and stuff worthwhile to see that people are enjoying it. So yeah, I appreciate you being here. That's all I got for today. I'll catch you real soon on the next video.